Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from Brooks the Alberta Junior Hockey League, Cale Makar.
Comes over, can't get it away from Makar. Here comes Makar with the shot, scores!
Cale Makar, Alberta-born professional hockey player playing for the Colorado Avalanche in the National Hockey League. In his 5 years in the NHL, he has achieved many feats such as being the highest player drafted out of the AJHL, becoming the recipient of the Conn Smythe and James Norris Trophy, and, in 2022, winning the coveted Stanley Cup. There are a lot of hockey players that come out of Alberta that make it to professional levels, but very few of them are on the level of Makar, and even fewer have inspired an impact on the sport the same way he did. The main thing that stands out about Cale Makar, aside from his generational ability, is his upbringing and the noted unconventional path he persevered through to make it to the National Hockey League. Born October 30th, 1998 in Calgary, Alberta, Makar grew up playing humble hockey with his local minor hockey association, the Crowchild Blackhawks, before making the switch to the Bruins of the Northwest Calgary Athletic Association in his U15 year. He then played for the Calgary Flames U15 AAA team before making the switch to a different team within the association called the Stampeders. That's where he played his U16 year. He followed up his final years in minor hockey by jumping back to the U18 AAA Calgary Flames. A turning point that displays Makar's resilience would be when he was in Pee Wee, trying out for the Alberta Cup team. He was 14 years old at the height of 5'5", while some of his teammates and friends were reaching 6 feet. And as a result of Makar's size, he was cut from the team, unable to solidify a spot on the roster. Following this disappointment, Makar pulled up his bootstraps and got to work with the team he was placed on, factoring in his team winning the Calgary City Championship and a silver medal at the Alberta Hockey Provincials the following year in 2012. Unlike most hockey players who only think of making the NHL, Cale had a backup plan to become an engineer, showing that as much faith as he had in his skills as a hockey player, he still understood that being a young boy from Alberta doesn't guarantee a spot in the NHL. In 2013, Makar was drafted in round 8 of the Western Hockey League draft to the Medicine Hat Tigers. However, due to collegiate eligibility rules, Makar opted out of joining the WHL and instead joined the Brooks Bandits of the Alberta Junior Hockey League as an affiliate player. He only played for this team at the tail end of their season in his first year, before becoming a staple part of their roster in his following years with the team. With the Bandits, Makar led the team to 2 back-to-back championships in the AJHL and was named the CJHL Player of the Year twice. Makar attributes a lot of his development to his time spent with the Bandits, showing gratitude to the program for giving him the tools he needed to step up his game. In 2017, Cale Makar was drafted 4th overall by the Colorado Avalanche in the NHL entry draft directly out of the AJHL. This is what turned some heads and brought notice to the defenseman. In Canada, it is typical for young hockey players to play in the CHL during their pre-draft development years, and if you aren't in the CHL, you may be in the NCAA playing Division I hockey with a school in the States. These are the 2 dominant leagues the NHL will mainly look to draft from, besides national development programs. However, Makar was dead set on going to college, and if you play in the CHL, you become ineligible to play for a college-level team due to the CHL being considered professional hockey, while the NCAA is under the term of amateur hockey. Makar expressed that he didn't feel like his size and style of playing at the time were fit for the WHL. This leads to Makar joining a Junior A team to keep his NCAA eligibility, where he could find more success. Makar also was said to have a lack of confidence in his defending skills, furthermore solidifying his choice in choosing the AJHL rather than the cutthroat culture of the Canadian Hockey League. Back to Makar's draft. Scouts knew he was a good prospect, but the general population were confused on his selection, mainly because of the preconceptions about where he was being drafted from. Though Makar's ability can speak for itself, the reputation of coming out of the AJHL instead of a major junior league or the NCAA did raise a lot of eyebrows.
He went first that year.
Yeah, I did.
It was like Heishier, Patrick. I forget who went third. Then we got Cale fourth.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who? This kid from the AJHL, like Alberta Junior A League." I'm like, "What is this? Like, who did we just draft?"
Talking.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, he looks okay, but like these guys are awful. Like whatever. But and then I watched him at World Juniors in the Christmas time, and I was like, oh my God, like this guy is an absolute stud.
One of the more important impacts Makar has had on the sport was showcasing that the AJHL can truly be a pipeline to the NHL. After Cale was drafted, he committed to the University of Massachusetts in the NCAA to continue his development as a player and to prepare him for the day he would crack the Colorado Avalanche's main roster. He played 2 seasons with the Massachusetts Minutemen, which was a program that was known to be struggling performance-wise. Makar put up 21 points in his rookie season. Then, in the 2018 to 2019 season, he was named captain and put up 49 points, leading the formerly troubled program to the NCAA championship game. Even though the team didn't win that year, he set the program up for future success before he was added to the Colorado Avalanche's roster. He finished his final year with UMass right before Colorado called him up to play for the Avalanche during the 2018-2019 playoffs. Before his 2019 to 2020 season with the Colorado Avalanche, Makar not only helped UMass get to the championship game in his sophomore season, he also won the Hobey Baker Award, which is presented to the best player in college hockey. He also helped Canada win gold at the 2018 World Junior competition. Makar was also offered a spot on Canada's Olympic team for the 2018 Winter Olympics, but he turned it down out of a mature decision and realizing it wasn't the right time or place for him to take that step in his career. Makar played his first full season with the Colorado Avalanche in 2019 to 2020, and that year he won the Calder Trophy, which is presented to the Rookie of the Year, after finishing with an impressive 50-point season as a defenseman. Following his rookie year, he finished his sophomore year in the NHL with 44 points in 44 games and was the runner-up for the James Norris Trophy, which is presented to the best defenseman in the league. 2022 was Cale Makar's true glory season. In his 3rd season in the NHL, he finally won the James Norris Trophy, led the entire league's defensemen with 28 goals. He finished with 86 points, and he helped the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup with 29 points in the playoffs. On top of winning the Stanley Cup, he took home the Conn Smythe Trophy, which is awarded to the most valuable player in the playoffs. In his 2023 to 2024 season, he set a career-high 90 points in 77 games, and recently in October 2024, he was named the Star of the Month in the NHL. Between all of his undeniable success, Makar still comes back to Calgary as a volunteer coach for the Crowchild Hockey School, showcasing his established relationship with his hometown team and the legacy his achievements are creating within his community. Cale Makar's career is only in its beginning stages, but he's already being looked at as one of the best defensemen of all time, and definitely one of the greatest prospects to come out of Alberta, making our province proud.
Comes cruising in, it's a perfect feed. Puck up to Ratton right there. Mikko's just flying by me. Looking like he's going 100 miles an hour, then gives it back to Nathan MacKinnon, who pops it over to